All right, welcome everybody to the January 2025 pitch event. I feel like this is going to be a good year. Obviously, lots of things changing, but I have this feeling it's going to be a fantastic year. So welcome everyone. I'm really excited to be kicking off the year with all of you and some really great companies presenting today. And so before we dive into today's program, just like to make a land acknowledgement that it is with gratitude and respect that we acknowledge that we're gathered here today on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh Nation. We wouldn't be here today without some fantastic sponsors and partners, and we've got a growing list, and we're really, really excited to have such amazing partners. We've handpicked these, we've curated this list of partners that are really, really valuable for the entrepreneurs and the investors in your portfolio companies as well. So you'll meet a lot of them at your time here, and we've got a couple of new ones that I'm excited to introduce as well. We also have Greg Hill here from Keiretsu Forum, our partners, and yeah, great group that invests in early stage companies. We see them as sort of that next step beyond VANTEC often. There are companies that are at the VANTEC stage that invest or that raise capital through Keiretsu as well, and it's a great place for investors to build their network and to share due diligence and learn due diligence. So a really great partner in Keiretsu. So thanks for coming, Greg. We'll chat about the chapter meeting we have coming up in a little bit here. All right, I'd like to introduce one of our new partners and sponsors. This is Jenny Hansen of Waypoint Insurance. I'd like her to introduce everyone to Waypoint and tell us a little bit more. So over to you. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you. This is actually my first meeting as a sponsor, so I'm very excited. I want to say thank you to everyone. It's a pleasure to be here with such an inspiring group of innovators and visionaries. My name is Jenny, and I'm proud to represent Waypoint Insurance as a sponsor of VANTEC Angel Network. At Waypoint, we understand that startups, especially in the technology sector, face unique risks as they navigate growth and scale. From intellectual property protection to copyright infringement, cyber liability, and even directors and officers liability coverage, our role is to ensure that the foundation you're building is secure and your path forward is protected. As someone who's passionate about both technology and the entrepreneurial spirit, I'm deeply committed to supporting this ecosystem. At Waypoint, we provide tailored advice that aligns with your specific business goals so that you can focus on what you do best, turning bold into reality. I'm excited to meet you, hear your stories, and learn about the incredible solutions you are developing. Thank you for welcoming me into this dynamic community, and I look forward to being a resource you can rely on as you build the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jenny. All right, and for anyone who's looking to get connected, obviously you can talk to myself or Lindsay. We've also added them to our website as well. Their links and emails to contact them right there as well. Next up, I'd like to introduce Sohail Shram and Amir from 12 Vivo, another new sponsor for 2025, and excited to have you introduce yourselves and 12 Vivo. Tell us some more.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Hello, everyone, and thank you. Thank you for being here today. It's our biggest pleasure to be here and sponsoring VANTEC as of 2025. We are 12 Vivo, and we have spent the better part of the past 10 years helping startups in a comprehensive way, sort of understanding their markets, understanding their IP landscapes, understanding their competitors, understanding their investors, understanding and ultimately being able to sort of cultivate a path forward for themselves. We generally specialize in IP services, and my partner here, Shahram, is our lead IP specialist at 12 Vivo. But yeah, we are really trying to partner with investors and the startups in being able to sort of take concepts from the lab or from the minds of great groundbreaking entrepreneurs and being able to transform them into startups that are sustainable and resilient. And so it is our biggest pleasure to be here at and sponsoring VANTEC, as we've been a part of the community for a number of years now, and now we're officially sort of being able to start providing workshops for startups as well as for investors. And I know a lot of us here are investors, and so we've been looking forward to connecting with you, being able to both bring our cadre of amazing sort of deep tech biotechnology, clean technology, AI, robotics, and ML startups towards your attention, but also helping startups being able to craft their way towards a commercialized vision.
Awesome. Happy to be here.
Thank you, everyone. That's great. So yeah, to speak a little bit more on the workshops that they mentioned, we try to help these companies, these entrepreneurs in preparing for these pitch events and for the conversations that they're going to be having with you, the investors. And so part of that is not just building the investable business, but also how do they communicate that investable business. And a big part of what Sohail was saying is that it's the IP and the defensibility, that cohesive strategy that they are going to put together in order to win out in this market. And so communicating that is a massive, massive piece to these presentations. And so Sohail, Amir, and Shahram and their team are going to be doing a workshop to help with the communicating of the IP strategy. So we're really excited to see the benefits that that brings. We've got a couple of housekeeping items here, and just to kind of remind everyone and those who maybe this is your first meeting or interested in potentially becoming a VANTEC member, we're a community of investors and have some great sponsors and partners that provide so much help and support to the companies at the earliest stage. And we have some great benefits of being a part of this community. Some of those include the pitch events that you're at right now. We have 11 of them per year, and we have over 100 pre-vetted companies that pitch at these events. You're able to build your network of investors, connect with other angel investors, and also I like to give you an opportunity to promote anything that you've got going on with your businesses, with your startups, so programs, events, other companies that you'd like to see pitch here. We put a high priority on those companies. We also have our summer social, which we're excited to bring back this July, and you'll have early access to that. It was a sellout event last year, and it will continue to be. It was such an amazing event. So definitely worthwhile being a VANTEC member, and you can be an in-person member for the low, low price of $600 a year, or online for $300. And hey to everyone who's online, we always appreciate you joining. And if you have questions during the Q&A period, then please make sure to put those in the chat. We also have integrated DLM, and we've been using it for a couple of months now. And I just want to mention that as a VANTEC member, you are required to have an account on DLM. This is where we manage everything to do with our members, and so you'll have received an invite to that. Please do accept it, and I'm happy to give you a tour around or answer any questions that you have. But it's an important place where you'll be able to see the companies that are going to be at the upcoming pitch events. You'll be able to get all of the company information. And this is something I've aligned with the What If Capital due diligence as well, trying to kill a couple of birds with one stone here to really get some good information that's actionable, and you can really get that due diligence kick-started with the information that you can find on DLM. You can also find the pitch videos of the previous events. So if you miss an event, you can always come back, and we record these, so you'll be able to access those and see all of the companies that pitched at those previous events as well. You can also organize your own due diligence and your portfolio of investments on DLM as well. And I know a lot of you are part of other groups here in Vancouver, BC, even Canada, and a lot of these other groups are using DLM as well. And I see DLM just improve and improve over time, and I can see them being a staple within the Angel Network community. So definitely an important asset to us, and if you haven't already accepted your membership, please do. All right, it is January, so we got to do some reporting, and I do want to bring up just a couple of things with our reporting, because it's not the easiest to get information about the investments that everyone's made, the companies that have been funded, and it is really, really crucial. I was on a call today for NACO, and we were talking about making sure that we have the reporting in order to give it to the policymakers so that they can maintain the incentives they have for angel investing, but also increase them and expand across Canada. And I think that this is a really, really important piece, because we have the EBC tax credit in BC, but that's not available everywhere else. And if we were able to expand that, I can only see it becoming even a more active and engaged community across the country. So we'll be sending around a survey. We would really appreciate all of you filling it in. We will try to keep it super high level, and if you're wanting to go deeper, we'll take as much information as we can. We're keeping it all very confidential. I know how sensitive a lot of this information is. So just wanted to make this announcement so you know that it's coming and that it is really important for us. We also do get government funding as well, and they rely on this information for our next budget for the next year, making sure that we're having a positive impact on the ecosystem. So just a couple of housekeeping items there. Onto our community announcements. And we have Allison Alpha in the crowd. Hey, Allison, from Western Pacific Trust Company. And we're partnering to do an event later on in the month on January 30th. It's leveraging registered accounts for capital raising and angel investing. This is such a key benefit both for entrepreneurs and for investors. And if you're not familiar, registered accounts, RRSPs, TFSAs, those sorts of things that can be leveraged to invest into these startups, and a lot of tax incentives that go along with that. So we will send out more sort of sign-up opportunities for this. Obviously, it's coming up in a few weeks here, so not a lot of time, but we're going to be hosting this at our partners, or not our partners, our friends at Osler downtown, and so a great office, great space for this. Is going to be an amazing opportunity to network both entrepreneurs and investors and hear some really valuable information. So thanks for being here, Allison, and yeah, obviously you can ask, get the inside scoop with Allison being here today, but it's going to be a really, really great event. So please sign up, and I look forward to seeing you there. We also have a couple of other community announcements. January 14th is going to be a busy day. We've got a sort of early afternoon schedule with Keiretsu, their BC chapter meeting here. Greg, did you want to say anything about Keiretsu's meeting? Thank you, Greg.
Thanks, Aaron. Great to see you. Hey, Lindsay, if you're out there too. Hey, everybody. Yep, Greg Hill here with Keiretsu Forum. We're going to be in town on Tuesday next week, right here at this venue at SFU Venture Labs, 12 o'clock. We have 6 companies presenting post-seed Series A stage. They just did a deal screening today. The results were really good. I think 6 out of the 7 companies that presented all got approved by the deal screening investors. So we should see some pretty good caliber companies coming out.
Thanks so much, Greg. And we also have a VEF event, Unearthing the Power Driving Metro Vancouver's Region High-Tech Engine. That'll be happening after the Keiretsu event, and so check out their website. They have a great events calendar where you can find all of the things coming up on their calendar. All right, now I'm going to do one last shameless plug here. With What If Capital is also a fund that I'm a part of, and we are renewing our EBC tax credit for 2025, and we've decided to open up the round till the end of, until tax season. We are also approved with Western Pacific Trust Company, and so you can invest through an RRSP, TFSA, and get the added tax benefits from that, as well as the 30% that you can get from investing through our VCC. And if you'd like to learn more, obviously come chat with me afterwards. We're going to be doing a couple more lunch and learns, and maybe do some online as well. But I want to get a sense of who might be interested, so definitely come and let me know, and I'd love to chat. All right, so on to the main programming for this afternoon. And so this is the company feedback sheet. You've got some in paper form as well. This is so that we can provide some feedback to the companies. We can connect you if you'd like to be connected. If you show your interest, we will make that introduction. We'll share your contact information with the entrepreneurs. If you don't show your interest, but you do add some feedback, we'll still pass that along. All of the feedback is really, really valuable, and the more, the better. So please do send that through. You can do it online or the paper copies there. And we have a few less companies that we would usually have at these events. We've only got 7 companies presenting today. There seems to be something going around, and I feel as though, yeah, the bug has knocked off a few people. We had some late cancellations, but that's quite all right. There's always a silver lining, and that's that more eyes on the companies that are here today, and so some really, really great presentation. We got 3 90-second pitches. We got 4 5-minute pitches. We also want to get a sense of what you think of this number of companies versus the sort of 10 to 12 that we usually have. And we have more time for networking afterwards with our friends at Bottles and Bottega, who have brought some great food for us, and we'll have some drinks as well. So it's great to be back in the SFU building here. All right, without further ado, let's jump into our first presentation. I'll invite Marnus up to introduce us to ProTech Rugby.
Can you name a contact sport where headwear is not mandatory? Rugby has the highest incident rates of concussions of any sport in the world. Current scrum caps are made of EVA foam, the same thing under your butt right now. They've been proven to not prevent concussions. They're simply for facial abrasions and cauliflower ear. My name is Marnus. I'm a passionate entrepreneur, an engineer, and a rugby player who's gotten concussions. We've developed a proprietary technology combining advanced materials to mitigate both linear and rotational forces involved on a rugby field. We currently have a working prototype. We're patenting our technology, which has reaches much further than rugby. We've partnered with industry leaders with advanced testing facilities, and we're iterating our product, trying to reach a minimum viable product. We're asking for 500,000 USD to patent in 8 of our leading markets, to reach our minimum viable product, and to have third-party testing done to prove our solution to the world. Join us in changing rugby forever. Would you let your son or daughter play rugby without a proven piece of headgear? Thank you.
Great job, Marnus. Thank you so much. And definitely chat with Marnus after. Check out the prototype that he's got with him today. And fantastic job. All right, next up, I'd like to introduce Puya to tell us a little bit more about ImpAssis.
So many of you are familiar with the dental implant surgery. In dental implant surgery, the dentist have to drill the jawbone and then screw it and place the implant on top of it. But this surgery comes with a couple of challenges. As a matter of fact, the dentist can easily damage the nerve sign or the bone of the patient. It's too expensive and time-consuming. So what we are offering is a 3D visualization technique. We show dentists in what direction they're drilling. Where is the drill inside the jawbone? How far is it from the sign or nerve? So we show that everything on a monitor. So our product is plug and play, no calibration required, and it's very easy to be used. And as a matter of fact, compared to our competitors, it's much cheaper. So at the moment, we do have a working prototype, and we are very close to build our MVP on less than 2 months away, and we are collaborating with one of the biggest name in the sector of dental implants, the manufacturer. So what we are asking for is just 75K to 120K, and with that, we will build an MVP, and we will start selling our product by marketing and attending exhibitions. Thank you very much, and thank you very much, and I'm looking forward to answer all of your questions. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you so much, Puya. All right. For our last 90-second presentation, I'd like to introduce Luai and AdamSea. So, Luai, I'll hand it over to you here. Take it away.
My name is Luai Yacoub. I'm from AdamSea. I work with the 20 years with the IT industry, with the Microsoft, Samsung, and Hikvision. I wish if there's I live here in Vancouver, and I want to buy a boat from US today. But I wish if there's a platform where I can buy and deliver the boat all the way to Vancouver in 1 click, the same like Amazon. US and Canada market size for boat, $22 billion, 21 million boats, and there's 130 million boaters, but difficult to sell off-season and global. And buyer buying offline from eBay and Facebook. What that means, no online payment, no inspection, no delivery, and a lot of scam. We built AdamSea, a web platform, to connect seller and buyer in each transaction where the only platform in the world can buy online in 1 click, payment, inspection, delivery. And seller can sell today from one country to other country, anytime, anywhere. You don't want to sell it, you can put it on rent and you can turn it extra revenue. We are live, we're ready to go. Our attractions here, we built a relationship with AYP to onboard 1 million users and 200,000 boats in 2020. We're asking for 610,000 for 7%. 12 months runway to achieve $2.5 million in revenue. Today's investment with an Airbnb and Uber is very difficult, but with AdamSea is $1 billion investment, and we're ready to go, and we're fundraising. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you, Luai. Excellent. All right, so some interesting 90-second pitches there. We always have these sort of intros, updates, or last calls that we like to kind of start you off with, and then we'll dive in to some 5-minute pitches, which we'll have Q&A for afterwards, so do prepare your questions, and I'll introduce Marco from Linax to take us into our first 5-minute pitch.
Thank you. So this may be upsetting to hear, 1 out of 2 people in the developed world will hear the words, "You have cancer," from your doctor. 1 out of every 2 people in the developed world will hear the words, "You have cancer," from your doctor. My name is Marco Carloni. I'm the founder of Linax Technologies, and my life's work has been to make radiation treatments more accessible to cancer patients. So radiation treatments are complicated treatments. They're done using machines called linear accelerators, and each treatment can take about an hour. Radiation will be needed in about 1 out of every 2 cancers. So that means that millions of people every year will need radiation for their cancer treatment. It takes a team of people a couple of weeks to prepare this at a cost of the hospitals of about $10,000 to $20,000. So this is a $1 billion problem for our health. So to help this, Linax has made SIMAC. SIMAC is a linear accelerator digital twin. It's a digital replica of the machine. It's a software simulator of the machine, and it allows the users to do whatever the same things that they would to a real linear accelerator, but virtually with the machine. It's a software efficiency tool to make the treatment preparation process more. So in a cancer center, we can spend up to half of our time preparing the treatments, or actually even more, rather than treating patients. So with SIMAC as a workflow efficiency tool, we would rather that the radiotherapy department spend all their time treating the patients. So we have been sold this to over 30 institutions around the world. Our marketing plan is to target some specific segments, including the academic teaching hospital segment, the States. Duke University was one of our first customers. We're also targeting the community cancer centers in North America, and Saskatchewan Cancer Agency was one of our first customers. And recently, we've expanded outside North America, and one of our newer customers is Genesis Care, which is a large Australia-based healthcare provider. We've been in revenue now for over 3 years. Our revenues are over 300,000, and we're projecting 250,000 of revenue this year. So where we are now, we've kind of, in our company cycle, so we've built our initial team, our initial financing has come together. We've kind of built our initial product. We've launched them. We've kind of built our business processes. We now have a core technology, which is, somewhat mature. We have a sales and marketing process that is somewhat mature. We have regular customers. And what we like to do now is we like to move into the future, and we like to develop some new products, clinical products that we can use to scale our revenues and increase revenues and move into the future and kind of meet our mission. So what we'd like to do then in the next 2 years is we have 4 products that we'd like to introduce. While we go into a product development cycle, we'll also continue our current business and selling our existing products, and we'll be acquiring new customers, which will then, these are customers that will be suitable to sell the newer products that we're developing. And then with that acquisition strategy, we can then scale our revenues moving forward. So we believe that based on our revenue modeling, and we have a very detailed revenue model, that we can increase our revenues to over $10 million in 5 years. And this will be based on a certain customer acquisition pace. We believe this is possible, again, because of our strategy of still acquiring existing customers to our existing products. And these are customers that will be suitable for the products that we're developing. And so then we can scale up really in kind of year 3 when we need to scale up our customers a lot. And we believe we can do that based on our customer acquisition plan. We intend to be cash flow positive by the end of year 4. And we believe we can achieve this by, at around a 27% penetration of the obtainable market. So this is the Linax team. So I'm the leader. So I've the founder of the company. I have a PhD in medical physics. I'm a professional engineer. I've been working in cancer care for 25 years. I also have 5 years experience building linear accelerators. I have 4 full-time employees. They've built everything that we've sold. They've developed all the business practices. And I'm being advised by some seasoned advisors who have lots of experience in radiotherapy, linear accelerator technology, and startup financing. So we'd like to raise $1 million against a $5 million pre-money evaluation. We're going to use this to build our clinical products. We'll use about half of it for product development and about a third for sales. We'll issue preferred shares as equity, and we're an EBC-approved company. And so thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for your attention. I am very grateful to be here, and I'd love to answer your questions.
Thank you so much, Marco. So, questions in the audience here. Thalzel, I will hand it over to you first. I'm going to do a quick run there and back.
Okay, thanks for your presentation. I'm not understanding your revenue model. How do you charge for your customers?
So we have two products. One is a platform subscription. So we sell access to our platform for an annual subscription. We also sell training courses, and so we charge revenue for our training courses. Yeah.
Other questions in the audience? Richard, I'll hand over to you.
Can you give us more detail on what your products are? You mentioned you have one product. Now you say you're developing 4 more. You don't actually tell us what the products are and what they are going to do and why they'll be successful in the marketplace.
So the products that we'd like to develop is, again, so the technology that we have now is, simulates how the linear accelerator makes its radiation beam. So we'd like to make, so we have a series of products that we'd like to introduce that are, again, based on our technology that will allow the cancer centers to improve the efficiency of their products and quality assurance, and then also in terms of how we check our plants. There's a lot of quality assurance is a big emphasis in the radiation treatments, because you can't undo a radiation treatment, and so so a lot of the work we do is to verify that we're not making mistakes. So because we can simulate exactly how the machine works, then our products will make that more efficient, and that's what we want to build.
I've got a segue question here, so I'm just going to quickly ask this one as well, because you're selling into some customers that usually have quite a long sales cycle or time to close. And so talk to us about this strategy to scale. You are in product development, but in the next sort of 4 years, you're going to be doing some massive scaling. So talk to us about how you're going to do that and the strategy behind it.
Absolutely. So the customers that we acquire now, so these are our customers are hospitals. This is the medical software. These tend to be low churn customers. They're very sticky, and so the customers that we have now, we talk to them all the time. We talk about our new technology that we're developing, and the goal is that as we're developing technology, we'll be talking with them, and these will be people that we can kind of acquire and then expand to sales. The sales cycles are very long. Medical sales are years sometimes. I mean, we've been in sales now for 3 years, and we have some customers that we just landed. And so that having a strategy of going even over the 2-year development time, this will allow us to kind of still acquire customers, and then as we're ready, then we can sell to them.
Fantastic. Thank you, Marco. I'm going to start on my New Year's resolution of getting more exercise and run to the back of the room here. All right, Rob.
Thank you, Marco. So is your product a software to help the people planning the radiotherapy treatment? Maybe you could I didn't quite understand from your presentation what your actual product is. The second question is, nowadays there's, theranostics, some of the new treatment. I just wondered if you're doing are you involved in that area at all? And final question is, have you had any traction with any of the cancer centers in Canada or BC?
All right, a few questions. Remember all of those, Marco.
So the initial product that we'd like to build will be more of a handoff after the treatment plan is done. So it's a treatment verification product. Like I said, we do a lot of work to make sure we don't make mistakes, and so quality assurance is a big effort. Having said that, I do have aspirations I'd like to build the whole thing. I'd like to build linear accelerators in the whole process, put it all into one platform, and make treatments available at a very low cost. Initially, what we'd like to do is really just do the treatment verification, because I see that as a segue into that. That's question one. For theragnostics, no, we're not involved in that. However, all these new treatments, I mean, there's immunotherapy coming out, a lot of these targeted treatments. These are only going to increase the need for radiation treatment, because what we're seeing is the cancer patients that were not curable before are becoming curable, and we need radiation for them. So we're not involved in that, but it's good for our business. Last question is, yes, we have Saskatchewan Cancer Agency, we have Manitoba Cancer Agency, University of Manitoba, Princess Margaret, Sunnybrook, University of Laval, not BC Cancer.
Well, thank you all for those questions. Thank you, Roy, to round us out there. Those are great presentation, Marco, and I look forward to the networking. So thank you, Marco. Round of applause. Marco has a table at the back, so obviously you can find him there, but also mingle, and I'm sure you'll be able to find him this evening. All right, so our next presentation, I'd like to invite Dolma up to introduce us to Flutter Care. So Dolma, I've got 5 minutes on the clock, and I'll let you take it away.
Alrighty. My name is Dolma Sidhu, and I'm the CEO and founder of Flutter Care. This is my friend Nadine. For 15 years, she was a policy analyst with the Government of Canada, and she loved being able to contribute to her community as a public servant. Nadine and her husband were so excited to learn that they were expecting a baby girl, Judith. Judith was full of energy, a little kickboxer in his belly. But just 2 weeks before her due date, Nadine noticed Judith's movements becoming less frequent and weaker. So she went to her doctor, who took Judith's heartbeat, told her that babies just ran out of room, and sent her back home. And just 2 days later, little Judith's heart stopped beating, and Nadine's world changed forever. The guilt and grief she experienced after her stillbirth was debilitating. She was hospitalized for PTSD and depression, and to this day has not been able to. Nadin's story is not uncommon. Every 16 seconds, a baby around the world is stillborn. And in high-income countries like Canada and the US, 30% of these deaths could be prevented. And stillbirths also put mothers at risk with a much higher chance of severe complications during delivery. With only sporadic checkups, parents are on their own to recognize when something is wrong. In Nadin's case, she did everything right, but she had an undiagnosed maternal infection that was cutting off little Judith's oxygen. Stillbirths put both an emotional and physical toll on parents, and this can lead to costs of over $300,000 per parent. At Flutter Care, we're helping families and providers to continuously monitor maternal and fetal health from home. We've developed a novel, non-invasive wearable device to do this. There are over 120 million pregnancies across the world each year, but we're focusing first on the 2 million pregnancies across Canada, the US, and the UK. We've developed a new method of fetal imaging that allows us to continuously track fetal movements, which is one of the most established and important indicators of fetal well-being. Our technology increases compliance, decreases anxiety, and provides access to data that will fundamentally change how we understand stillbirth risk factors. Current technologies today are only focused on fetal heart rate, which on its own can be misleading, as we saw in Nadin's case. We're helping to fill the gap through the monitoring of fetal movements. And we've integrated our technology into garments that mothers are already wearing during pregnancy, allowing for smoother adoption and continuous monitoring. But beyond this, we're also changing the way in which people remember and experience pregnancy. We've developed novel technologies with our patents pending. We've received safety approvals for our device so that they can be used with humans in studies. Our device is at TRL 7, and we've been supported by the Hardware Catalyst Initiative, Techstars Industries of the Future, and continue to be funded by the National Research Council. So we currently have our first in-human study that is being conducted, and our goal is to get to full regulatory submissions by the second quarter of 2026. And we already have interest from clinical sites in both the US and Canada. The first technology that we released was a mobile application that helps families to manually track fetal movements. And so this helped to prove global demand for our hardware technology. So for our go-to-market strategy, we're focusing on both B2C and B2B with employee benefits plan eligibility and also long-term healthcare reimbursement. And our app has been promoted by the International Stillbirth Alliance and the Washington State Department of Health. And we're working with key health authorities like the Public Health Agency of Canada towards a national strategy to reduce stillbirths in our country. So we're a deeply technical team and we've stayed lean. My background is in engineering and I've also supported families as a birth doula. As a student, I was the sole national recipient of the Engineers Canada Gold Medal Student Award, and I've also founded 3 different organizations. And my team has led hardware development at companies like Sanctuary AI and have conducted PhD research in biomedical sensors. We're also receiving clinical mentorship from the former Canada Research Chair in Maternal Fetal Medicine. So we're raising $2 million US for a 24 months runway on a post-money safe with a valuation cap of $11 million US. So just in December, we closed $100,000 through Sheboot, which is an angel group, and we've also received a commitment matching that investment through BDC Thrive Lab. Little Judith's legacy lives on, and we believe that there is hope. As an example, just last year, Nadin and I worked together to successfully advocate for new national fetal health surveillance guidelines. So now in Canada, after 26 weeks, every mother should be advised by her healthcare provider to regularly monitor fetal movements. And if she notices any reduction in movements, she should receive men right away. We believe that pregnancy is a reminder of what a miracle it is to be human. So from the very first flutters in her belly to the first time that she's holding her baby, we want every mother to have a positive experience. Thank you.
All right, fantastic presentation. Thank you, Doma. All right, does anyone have any questions in the audience? Yes, we got one back here. Give me 2 seconds.
Great presentation. I just wanted to know, is there a cost in terms of something the person has to wear? And then my second one is, what's the biggest challenge you have?
I like these 2-for-1s. Means less running.
So in terms of cost, we expect to charge for the device $2,000. So at first it can seem like a lot, but it's quite standard across medical devices, especially a Class 2 medical device. And as I also had demonstrated earlier on, the cost for a stillbirth is $9,000 direct and up to $300,000 indirect. So we believe that there is a good case for what we're presenting as the price, and especially with healthcare reimbursement and implant eligibility, we believe that this would help to make the device a lot more affordable if that's covering a large percentage of the cost.
What's your biggest challenge?
I would say the biggest challenge right now is just like product development and, bringing a Class 2 medical device, especially a de novo path, is not easy. And so for us, it's required really leaning on our mentors who have taken medical devices to market. One of our closest mentors who I work with every week was the co-founder of Perimeter Medical Imaging, which went public and had a breakthrough device. So that's been really important for us to lean on the expertise of people who have done this before. But because it's not a very clear path. It's an unexplored research area. Maternal and fetal medicine still has a lot of work to do. I think that's presented difficulties, but I think it also presents a very exciting opportunity for us to be a major player within this space.
Great. I will get some other questions in the audience before I ask mine.
What luck have you had so far in accessing billing codes in the United States?
You got that?
So we would have to establish our own billing code most likely because this device hasn't really been seen before. The predicate devices that you would try to compare it to would be like contraction monitors or fetal Dopplers. That is not how our technology works. So we do expect this to be a de novo pathway, and we would have to set up our own billing code.
First of all, that's a fantastic presentation. Really, really well done. I did want to ask, though, you've alluded a couple of times to employee benefit plans and that sort of thing. Is it in fact covered by Canadian insurers?
So with that, we're looking at employers themselves and if they would be willing to offer that. So we'd be looking at, some forward-thinking companies that are providing fertility benefits to their employees, so things like that. But I would have to look more closely at kind of the larger ecosystem, but it would be similar to what I had just shared before in terms of setting up a billing code if it was public health.
Greg, did you have a question?
Yeah, more of a comment. Thank you. That was incredible. Feel a kinship having two kids myself, just to the experience of your opening story. After this, I put a note here. There's 3 angel groups I'd like to introduce you to. Angel Hive out of New York City. They're femtech investors. They'd probably be very keen to learn about this. Also, the Firehood out of Toronto and Healthcare Equity Angels. So just connect with me after.
And I'd like to know, you've got this app right now and you're working on the hardware. Do they connect? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, great question. And so as I mentioned, we have an app that's currently in market, and this is a great loss leader really for the hardware technology because it essentially makes that autonomous. So with the wearable technology, there will be a connected app, but because we already have this app out in the market right now, it's helping to build this community around what we're doing. And so we foresee, being able to reach many people through this app that could be shared by all of these institutions, such as like the Public Health Agency, and then being able to help them realize how a wearable technology could make that process even easier for them and be able to provide data that is very valuable. So that's how we're connecting the two things together is put the app out there first, build the community, build these partnerships, and then when the wearable technology is ready, we would be able to have a more seamless transition.
All right. We got one more question over here. Abdul.
Did you look into the cost of acquisition for your clients? And because the life of the client, once you acquire them, they only with you for a short time, and then you have to go back and acquire more clients.
Yeah, so it is, a shorter period that you're using the device, but there's actually potential for us to have more kind of creative business models around this too. So we're looking at potentially having rental options and being able to return the device back and then us reselling it essentially by refurbishing. So yeah, hopefully that helps a little bit, but I think, the reality is that it will be just a shorter period of time, but we hope that the technology will have enough value that people can see that, even if it's for that period of time, that they're still getting enough out of it that's potentially going to help them throughout their lifetime of their baby and themselves. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Dolma. Dolma will have her own table as well, and so can find her there or during the networking, and definitely looking forward to that. So next up, I'd like to invite Jeff up to introduce us to Favoland.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jeff Clark. How many of you use beauty products? That includes shampoo, body wash, deodorant, toothpaste, moisturizer, lip balm, or suntan lotion. Can you tell me 3 ingredients the products use on a daily basis? Most people can't, and that's a problem. The $750 billion beauty industry is flooded with products and not regulated globally, compromising many consumers. Skin issues and allergies cost the US medical system $93 billion a year. We need to know what a product contains, how it was made, and whether it's safe. Salespeople need more training, have limited tools, and cannot tell us. The system isn't working, and I see this as Favoland is an in-depth, intuitive ingredient database that anyone can use. Oh shit, I wasn't going through it all. We provide over 30 data points of valuable information. Most of our competitors provide less than 3. Favoland transforms product knowledge into a powerful tool that's easy enough for salespeople and consumers to use. It gives you deep insights into every product on the shelf. This is a business tool. It builds loyalty because more brilliant salespeople and educated consumers are good for business. It's easy to use. Just scan a barcode and the information appears. Favoland is a mighty database. We are the first to discover a client's frequency, size, and location for more accurate reporting. And this goes through the whole process. So it goes around in the cycle and it goes back and repeats itself. I hired one of the best designers and have invested substantially in our UI UX design. It is a very straightforward, clean design with great color choices. Users can use our predictive type to scan, search products, scan products, or browse by category. The beauty industry in 2022 was valued at $62 billion and expected to grow to $225 billion by 2028. 82% of consumers use online reviews, but they're challenged to find positive results. Oops, I'm going backwards. Sorry. The beauty tech industry, Favoland's the world's first AI-powered beauty product ingredient database and rating system. We're the first to grade every ingredient, and we provide 20 insights on each ingredient. Very few of our competitors use AI today, which gives us a huge advantage and makes Favoland the most robust, reliable, and accurate platform. I've started to engage with the community. Please see these comments from the chemist from Italy. She loves the Favoland platform and likes the inclusion of scents. She says the importance of fragrance in cosmetic formulations is often underestimated. In beauty, Italians are known to be experts in formulation. As you can see, there are several other online product databases. Think Dirty and Yuka are our closest competitors. Yuka claims to have 60 million users, but both only focus on ingredient reporting. Our competitors charge $21 to $50 a year. We plan to charge a minimal fee of $12 a year, as most of our revenue businesses. Brands, retailers, and suppliers will pay a small monthly fee of 1 cent and up to list products on Favoland. Then we have subscription fees for businesses, licensing data, white labeling, country and affiliate partners, and traditional advertising. We launched to the public this October with 10,000 users in the first month. But now I'm focused on media engagement to get to. Hi guys, my name is Jeff Clark. I've worked in the consumer goods industry for over 3 decades and technology for 2 decades. And I can see the disconnect between consumers, brands, and retailers. I'm a serial entrepreneur with a proven track record of scaling startups to 100 million in revenue. Ryan has spent 15 years in beauty and is an expert in startup brand building, strategic execution, and successful market validation. Her career is dedicated to the intersection of beauty, technology, and innovation, and evolution of the digital economy. Krista spent 2 decades driving revenue growth, expanding market presence, and leading high-performance sales teams. I have another person, John. He's a director of sales. He's not on this slide. He'll be coming up soon. I see co-founders, advisors, mentors, partners in investment. We aim to return 10 to 30 on your investment, but I'm aiming for 50. Join Favoland's mission to empower sales teams and consumers alike. We're raising a minimum of 200 to 400,000 on a pre-money valuation of 3.6 million for 10% equity to scale this vision. We can revolutionize how products are sold, bought, understood together. Our funds will be spent on marketing, 25% on technology, and 25% on operations. Favoland, the power of knowledge at your fingertips. It's great to meet with you. I look forward to discussing your involvement with Favoland. Now everyone, take out your phone and go to favoland.com to start discovering the possibilities. I can walk you through a 10-minute customer journey, the financials, or a team meeting. Let me know your needs. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Jeff. Jeff, let's stick around for some Q&A. No worries. eager to get into the networking. No, it's all good. All right, Thalzal, why don't you kick us off here?
Jeff, tell us more about your customers. You said you launched 3 months ago, October 2024. And yes, you went very quickly saying that most of your sales are coming from B2B, but yet you talked a lot about B2C. Could you tell us more about your customers and how you are collecting the revenues?
Just hold off until I get the mic so that we got it for online as well. Here you are.
So we're a double-sided marketplace, but we only have one revenue source coming from B2C. That's a subscription model. We have 7 revenue sources that are coming to our B2B marketplace. So, you know, we've looked at it and say, really our businesses are paying for this. We'd ideally like to make it free for consumers. We haven't decided on that. We're still in discussion, you know, but right now we only have one revenue source for B2C, which is a subscription, and then we have 7 revenue sources. And that's things like white labeling, country partners, you know, affiliate partners, and everything else that will come down in your businesses.
And to build off that, how are you getting in front of those B2B customers and building that side of the marketplace?
Thanks. So we have Chris here is a VP of Business Development, and then John, he's got 3 decades of expertise in sales, and he's coming aboard as our Director of Sales. So those 2 are basically focused on building that base.
But is that going to be cold outreach? Yeah, just reaching out to different businesses. Okay, yes is the answer on that. Any other questions? Sean, I'll come over to you.
Yeah, I love to hear a serial entrepreneur tell me you made money for investors in the past. So how much did you make in your past ventures for your early investors?
All right, over to you.
So I built one company to 100, within 2 years, I grew up from startup to 100 million in revenue. That's revenue. They were a product-based business, so product has a cost. So product can be anywhere from 50 to 70%, depends how much profit they want to make. That was a private company, so I just helped a private company. So individually, they did very well. If they made 30 to 50 million dollars, you know, was considered to be good for them, right? So.
All right.
So there's no investors involved.
Okay, bootstrapped company. Okay, any other questions from the audience? No, I will ask one more myself here. And so looking at a business like this, how are you going to defend yourself from others coming along, fast followers for a business like this?
You know, there's always competitors. We just got to stay ahead of the competitors, and that's what we're doing. So we offer 30 data points of information. Most of our competitors offer less than 5. We dive a little bit deeper to help resonate with the consumer. So that's what we're doing.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, Jeff. All right. Last up for this evening, I'd like to introduce Pascal to tell us a little bit more about Binta Financial.
Everyone, good evening. My name is Pascal. I'm the CEO of Binta Financial, and I have my CFO with me here, Jerens. Our vision is to empower newcomers who come to Canada and North America with sustainable financial solutions. So I'll tell you a short story. So a few years ago, I came into Canada as an international student, and I was trying to rent a house somewhere around Richmond. It took me speaking to over 6 different landlords before one person agreed to rent a house to me. And the first time I tried to apply for credit cards, I got rejected twice. And the same bank that I started working for a few months after that turned me down for a line of credits that I applied for. I thought all these challenges were unique to me until fast forward a few months after that, I got a banking job with some of the major banks. And I realized that of the over 500,000 people who come to Canada every year, deal with the same challenges. So housing is a big problem for newcomers. They pay huge premium on insurance programs. A lot of them get rejected for credit cards, and they also do face barriers with employment. And that was why we started building Binta, and we are creating this platform that will simplify the journey for newcomers by eliminating these financial barriers and help them build their lives from day one. And this is our bold vision for 2030, and our approach is to think about the newcomer from the very first day they get their visa saying, I'm moving to Canada, up until when they build financial prosperity. So we are doing things like helping them move their financial records from their home countries to Canada. And beyond that, we just recently partnered with Equifax to help them build their credit history in Canada. And we want to open them up to even more financial services as to spend more time here in the country. And to show you how much far we've gone into that journey, so we've recently launched the rent reporting program in partnership with Equifax. And what this does is with every rental payment they make, that builds their credit history and opens them up to way more financial services that they ordinarily would not have. And we are also providing personalized financial education for them. And we're on a journey to building all the other 4 products. And how we make money, we are a B2B SaaS company, and we have a very soft layered B2C portion. And how we do that is we try to acquire most of our users by partnering with channel partners, and that gives us an opportunity to charge subscription fee and of course process payments with B2B channel partners. In terms of traction, so this is what we've done in the past 8 months after we piloted with Equifax. So we have over 400 users today who use the platform, and we recently just closed one B2B partner who has over 100 units on tenants that they're providing to us. And good news today, we closed one more, over 150, and we had another one that just subscribed today as well for over 200 units coming. We've raised $250,000 to date, and we can now access over 150 million financial records from overseas for newcomers moving to Canada. We recently won RBC's Most Innovative Business, powered by Black Business Association of BC. We are very aware that there is competition playing in some of the products, but how we are different is we've given the newcomer solution a journey from when they get their visa all the way to when they get to Canada. And that keeps us ahead of the competition. And the fact that we built a very sticky product keeps our users using our platform on a daily basis. And our strategy to acquire customers is quite interesting because we use a channel partner strategy that opens up us to lots of users on our platform by closing just one deal. And we are all 100% mission-driven immigrants with so much experience in the space. We are backed by all these partners you see on the screen, and most of these were all acquired within the last 8 months. So that's our team, over 50 years experience in banking and financial services with some of the great brands you can see on the table there. And we are trying to raise additional $500,000. Our goal was to raise $750,000. We are on $250,000 to date. Why we need the money is we want to be able to scale our users from 400 to over 2,500 users this year, and we want to grow our GTV, gross transaction volume, by 1.3 by the end of this year, and of course, increase our marketing and sales activities. Thank you very much for the opportunity and for listening. I'll answer your questions now.
Great presentation. Thank you for that. No worries. Thank you, Pascal. All right, we've got some hands shooting up here. I'll hand it over to Mark first.
So what's in the international credit transfer is the key to your value to your individual customer, because if you can get their credit record transferred from original country and recognized here, they've got a credit rating. How do you do that?
Thank you so much, Mark. Great question. So we have partnered with some credit bureaus overseas, and what happens is we sync our platform with theirs. So when a newcomer moves to Canada and they want their credit history moved into Canada, they just need to put in some few information, and then we can port that into that data. And what that data does is landlords who want to rent to them can actually see that they are credible and they've been somewhere and they have a history. Telecom providers who want to transact with newcomers can see that data, and banks, of course, who also want to extend services to them can access that data.
Fantastic. Dalsal, I saw your hand.
Yeah, I think partially answered my question because I wanted to get some clarity on your customer acquisition strategy. So do you acquire your customers before they are in country here in Canada or before?
Richard, here we are.
Thank you. Great question, Tezel. So we do both. For some of our products like the Binta AI that we have moving their credits, those ones, they can access them from overseas before getting here. For the rent reporting products, they have to be in Canada with a registered address in Canada for us to build their credits from within Canada. Thank you.
Any other questions in the audience? Yes, Sean.
Yeah, just a quick question about what your plans are to access the U.S. market.
When are you going to go south of the border?
Well, sounds like you've been in our meetings. So Canada is actually where we are launching from, and we imagine that is going to be our smallest market. The US is actually our next stop after we make some good progress here. So by early 2026, that conversation should happen because our rent reporting program in Canada is already getting so much traction, and we'll extend that to the US as well. Yeah, thank you.
Wonderful. Yes, Abdul. Definitely getting my exercise today. This is great.
How do you make money?
Thought it was going to be a longer question, Abdul.
We charge a subscription fee for our users, both B2B and B2C. To give you an idea, for the B2B clients, which are mostly housing providers and landlords, we charge them close to $500 a month for the units that they have to report their rent through.
Well, thank you very much, Pascal. That was a fantastic presentation, and excited for some networking. So as I mentioned, we've got Bottles and Bottega who have come to drop off some great nibbles, and we've got some drinks. But thank you, Pascal. We'll get into networking. Great job. All right, and just remember, you can show your interest, give some feedback here. I'll leave this one up. We've got our next meeting on February 5th at Manning Elliott, so definitely sign up for that, and I look forward to seeing you there. But yeah, let's get into some networking.